by Gregory Lebens Higgins. Read by the author. Rochester's mayoral primary debate took place on May 28th between incumbent Mayor Malik Evans, Rock DSA endorsee and City Council member Mary Lupian, and local businessman Shashi Sinha. Lupian spoke ambitiously of her vision for a better future, while Evans and Sinha invoked limitations and appealed to the status quo. The satirical exchange in the footnote below humorously captures the tone of the debate. About halfway through, the candidates were asked, "What is your stance on encampment sweeps? Do you support their removal, or do you think their removal exacerbates the issues of homelessness?" How many people have we arrested for being on the street? The answer is 0, said Mayor Evans. He elaborates, "You can't arrest someone for being in poverty or having a substance abuse disorder." But closer consideration reveals that arrest is the all too frequent response to poverty and substance abuse. How does Mayor Evans' logic hold up against racial disparities in policing? Black Americans comprise 33% of the prison population, despite being just 14% of the general population, and are arrested at 5 times the rate of whites. Yet, would Mayor Evans believe that nobody has been arrested for being black, or driving, running, shopping, and swimming while black? Of course, racial profiling will always be denied as the true motivation behind such outcomes. Following the Civil War, vagrancy laws were enacted across the South, describes historian Eric Foner in his account of Reconstruction, punishing the idle, disorderly, and those who misspend what they earn with fines or involuntary plantation labor. Virginia's law punished those who demanded higher wages, while in Florida, disobedience and disrespect to the employer were criminalized. Many of these laws made no reference to race to avoid the appearance of discrimination and comply with the Federal Civil Rights Act of 1866, says Foner. But it was well understood, as Alabama planter and Democratic politico John W. Du Bois later remarked, that the vagrant contemplated was the plantation Negro. Similarly, capitalist society builds a carceral framework around homelessness in more devious ways. The threat of homelessness disciplines labor, while the vulnerability of the homeless establishes a hyper-exploitable reserve army of labor. Today, more than 1,000 Rochester residents are homeless, and the city boasts the 5th highest child poverty rate in the nation at over 40%. Homelessness in Rochester testifies to the racial legacy of America, with black residents representing 40% of the general population, but 55% of those experiencing homelessness. Meanwhile, rent continues to increase. A single-bedroom apartment now averages $1,200 per month, and a surging housing market pushes home ownership further out of reach. Housing is not the only rising cost of living, and income growth lags behind. Employment can be difficult to obtain, requiring a stable address, transportation, and a passing background check. Even retaining a job does not guarantee alleviation from homelessness, as employers provide low wages, unreliable hours, and limited time off, and employees are subject to termination at will. Rochester lacks adequate shelters for the unhoused, and those in extreme poverty have nowhere to go. Capitalism privatizes everything it can profitably possess. Modern public space carries a cost of occupancy, and minor violations such as sleeping in public or an open container can lead to arrest or a trespass notice. Urinating and sleeping in public are both unavoidable and criminalized, says Alex Vitale in The End of Policing, creating a terrible dynamic. The unhoused are targeted by police and ostracized by the community. Despite Mayor Evans' denial, encampment sweeps have dramatically displaced inhabitants and destroyed their belongings, and continue to do so. Those occupying public space are more likely to have police contact or be subject to search, while poverty encourages crimes of desperation and nihilism. If society doesn't care about me, why should I follow their rules? Once the unhoused enter the criminal justice system, problems compound. The criminal justice system, with its emphasis on punishment, says Vitale, cannot address the underlying and intertwined problems of homelessness, mental illness, and substance abuse. The unhoused are more likely to be held in jail as they are denied release due to a lack of stable housing and cannot afford bail. They will encounter more difficulty paying fines, necessitating more court appearances or consequences such as license suspensions, and they can't reliably stay in contact with their attorney or the court. Criminal entanglement can disrupt social services and limit job opportunities, leading to a downward spiral. So, yes, Mayor Evans, we arrest people for being on the street, in all but invocation. Sinna's response to this issue is not any better. Solving homelessness, he says, is very simple, and of course it's a very complicated issue. This answer is revealing. Solving homelessness is simple in that the answer appears on its face, providing homes. It is complicated, however, because the desire for profit means this option cannot be delivered by the market. As mayor, Mary Lupien promises to end homeless encampment sweeps day one. Homeless encampment sweeps can kill people, says Lupien, by disrupting forms of support available to the homeless community through outreach and solidarity. Lupien clearly identifies the simple answer: to provide them homes. Mayor Evans admits homelessness is not a problem you can arrest your way out of, yet disproportionate city funding goes to policing rather than social services. With society's wealth and capacity for production, we have the means to provide housing and a dignified lifestyle to all. When we arrange our society toward these ends, we will find not only that we can eliminate homelessness, but can create a more comfortable and safe community for all. Footnote. Question: what pizza should we order? Cinna: pizza. Ordering: it has some crust, it has some cheese, but we never ask if we can afford it. You know, sauce. Why aren't we asking about why we need pizza? We need to fix this problem. Lupien: I have been a staunch believer in pepperoni pizza, standing with the communities. More pizza in more mouths will feed so many hungry people. It is disappointing that Mayor Evans threw away 2 whole pizzas at the last pizza party that could have gone to feeding more people. We have the pizza available, we just need to get it to the right mouths. I've partnered with Pizza Justice and over a dozen other pizza communities who understand what it takes to get there. It works. Evans: I will never apologize for my pizza choices because my pizza choices are right. I have personally delivered pizza to people, wasting not a single slice. When I was 14, I worked for Salvatore's and cannot be ashamed of that. I have never thrown away a pizza. 3 years ago, we had a pizza crisis in this city. I rolled out Slice of the Night, which gave pizza to pizza-less communities. I will never apologize for what I've done. We don't have the budget to just give everyone pizza. We could all make up misunderstandings about pizza waste, but that's just not how things work. I have a 3-topping approach to pizza: sausage, onions, and peppers. You need all 3. Let me be clear. Without onions, a pizza cannot happen. Just like I've been doing for 3.5 years, I've been bringing these together. Cinna, you have your hand raised. Cinna: these two keep arguing. It just isn't like that. It won't happen unless we try. Reddit user Mysterious Gold, 2,200.